I tell you, I'm still kind of recovering from that concert on Friday. So
How was it?
show was great. Show was great. 13-year-old me was very excited to go see Yellow Card. I had never seen them before. But of course, them, Day to Remember State Champs, and Boundaries. First, I want to tell you, Boundaries, they're like a post-hardcore, like harder stuff. But it's hilarious because they opened everything. And the guy straight up when he got on stage was like, for the next 23 fucking minutes, your ass is mine. And I'm like, whoa. Whoa.
I'm feeling unsafe right now.
The whole time he would get your fucking hands in the air if it saves my ass. Yes.
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 Please don't hurt me. A Yellow Card would have been good. Too bad Death Clock opened for them.
Right, it was such a crazy dynamic. I mean, A Day to Remember, they walk both lines of that sort of stuff, so it kind of fit. But the show ended, and I have to appreciate they know their audience at this point because we're all old. We all, grew up high school, college with them. And when A Day to Remember was like 3/4 of the way through, the lead guy, he was basically like, okay, so normally this is the part where we pretend to walk off stage and hide back there for a couple minutes while you guys chant for an encore. That's fucking stupid, right? We can all agree that that's fucking stupid. Okay, we're just going to do 4 more songs and that'll be it. How does that sound?
Yeah, we like this.
Time to get your fix. It's a horrible gaming podcast. It's not good, it's not great. Horrible gaming podcast. It's not even what you would call fair. It's really not that good. Horrible Gaming Podcast.
Hello, my name is
Neil,
Zach,
aka Tiny Wizard.
That's it, everybody. This is the last show right now. You're gonna just 30 seconds. That's it. What if that was it? We posted that and that was just it.
That's it. I'm done. You hear the audio of the headphones hitting the table.
Just walks away and Snoop Dogg, it's just a recording for 2 hours of an empty room. Yeah, my name is Zach Rye with Old Man Gaming. Welcome to another Horrible Gaming Podcast. You guys have chosen for whatever reason to listen. My co-host has decided to preempt me and announce himself ahead of time, so you know who he is. We're going to do a show about video games. The news week has been a little bit...
You haven't introduced yourself.
I did. I said Zachariah.
You did?
Yes. I just did. 22 seconds ago.
You did? I missed it. I thought you only just mentioned me and that was it. I thought I derailed the train that hard.
Neil's like, I don't know who my co-host is. What's his name? Jack?
Yeah, I'm just asking to make sure you
know.
The
star of the show is a tiny wizard. Okay, so... we're going to do this, even though it's a crap show already. We do not have any real news. It's been a pretty slow news week. There's been some trailers here and there, a couple of stupid Randy Pitchford things, and there was a big interview with Pete Hines, who I don't particularly care about. So there's not a whole lot to talk about on that. So we thought we'd do something fun. And this is what I've been wanting to do for a while, just try it out as a format for us. So we each picked a genre of game, and then both of us are going to pick our 5 games in those 2 genres that are our best games in those genres, so that you guys can all get mad at our choices. So that's what we're going to do today. But first we're going to do fan interaction, and even before that, we've got to thank the people who make this possible. Behind our ugly mug, you see a custom graphic that was provided by Mr. Mark Bell. We thank him for that. And then, of course, the theme song for this show and all the shows here at Old Man Gaming is provided by the man who makes music, my brother Nick Van Siders. We thank him for that. We'll be right back with fan interaction.
Horrible Gaming Podcast.
All right, guys. We're here at Fan Interaction. It is our first segment, our most important segment. That's where we, the co-hosts, we read out you guys' comments. We talk about them. We respond to them. That's something we can offer, being a smaller podcast on a smaller channel. So let's get into it. Right off the bat, we have Jason. I won't say Andromeda was amazing, but I don't think it was boring like everyone else seems to. Yeah, I agree. I will say, on the subject of the boring, I felt like sometimes going to planets, because there were planets you could visit, there were huge swaths of land with nothing on it, with nothing to do. I felt almost like there's supposed to be more stuff here, but they just never got around to adding it, sort of thing. But that's the only time I really felt the game was boring. Like, definitely buggy, definitely broken sometimes. And I definitely wouldn't say it's the best game ever. It just, for me, it hit a lot of notes that the original Mass Effect even didn't hit. That I wish... It's one of those things where I could see the potential in it, you know? Like, I wish you could take those systems that I really love from that game and just put it in a better quality game, you know?
Yeah, that's exactly how I would kind of describe it too. Is I could see a good game in there.
Yeah.
For me, it was, besides like the jankiness and everything, I just feel like their systems and everything, which they did eventually kind of address, I believe, if I remember correctly in an update, but like a lot of their systems were very convoluted for like no reason. And there were like systems within systems. So it wasn't just like a standard upgrade path. Every single notch on an upgrade path had its own specific system.
Yeah.
Like it was too much that like really, I think the gun building was like one of the things that really kind of turned me off because it was akin to that.
That's fair. I would agree with that. I think if we're talking about boring too, the other thing would be there was only 2 races in the new world. 3 if you count the remnants. Yeah. And that's a little bit boring. But, like, I don't know. There was still plenty of plot and stuff to do. It's just, yeah. I would never call, like, Andromeda wasn't a 10 out of 10 for me. But I really enjoyed it. It's just, I could see the problems with it. It's just, I could also see all the really cool things that they added that I wish they had added to the original Mass Effect. You know what I mean? Like... I felt like they took all the things that I wanted them to change and they made those changes and then just failed in all the other departments, which is a little frustrating.
Yeah, I keep wanting to, because like it's kind of crazy thinking back to what we would expect for quality back then. That game came out in 2015, 2016,
Yeah,
something like that. I think it'd be very interesting to go back at some point and play that.
I think it's even older than that.
See. Yeah, it very well could be.
Because it was out for a while before my daughter was born, and my daughter was born in 2016.
Okay, yeah, it may have been 15, because I remember we had just moved back from Kentucky at that point. But anyways, I would love to see, like, compare that to, like, a newly released game nowadays, because I do wonder if, like, we were just too hard on that game when it came out, or had too high of expectations.
Yeah, I don't know. It was actually released after my daughter was born. It was released on March 21st of 2017, according to Google, which surprises me. I really thought I had played that before. But, yeah, I think the expectations were too high. I think if that was a one-off in a game, it might have actually done a little bit better than if it was put up against the original Mass Effect trilogy. Yeah. I think that's one of those things. But continuing on, we have William Howen. Hi! They didn't delete your post this time, Will. Hi! Exclamation point. What a great idea of a discussion. As much as I would like to find a weird thing that I do, I can't think of anything else than saving the game constantly, even though there's an autosave feature. Kind of a boring one, to be honest. As I'm sure I'm doing stupid things, I just can't think of one. Neil, about your destroying habit, have you checked Dismantle? You can destroy 99% of the assets in that game, and it's great. Light No Fire was announced on December 7th of 2023, and I know it won't come out this year. Thanks for the show. Hashtag OMG just is. OMG just is. I like that. Yeah, it might not. I mean, it's supposed to. They haven't pushed it back, but it might not. It might not. I don't know, Will. I don't know. I'm not necessarily convinced, because if you look at No Man's Sky, and again, this might just be wishful thinking, but if you look at No Man's Sky's release of all their DLC post their launch, right? They've all come out of fucking nowhere. It's like he doesn't want to talk about anything until it's out anymore. So I don't know. Part of me thinks that like one day it's just gonna be out and you can go buy it, and that will be that. You know.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised with the absolute hell that they went through.
Yeah.
On multiple levels when originally No Man's Sky came out. I would not be surprised at all if they want to like. I almost wonder if they're going to get it in a state that is actually completed and like keep it there for a year or two to just continue to refine things.
Yeah.
Before they put it out there, because I don't think they want to go through what they did.
They definitely don't. They definitely don't. I think that like, when you get, like I said, when you get the DLC releases for No Man's Sky, it's literally like Sean Murray will post an emote to the No Man's Sky Twitter thing, and then everybody kind of goes crazy because that's the tease. Like, what does a wave mean? And then like 3 weeks later, they just release it. They release it, and then that's when you get all the trailers telling you what it does. Same with this last Voyagers update and every update previous. So like the question is, and that's worked for them. They dominate the news cycle when they do that. They get a ton of press on them. Every time they do that, I almost feel like that's what we're going to see. They're going to be at one of these shows, like the Game Awards or something else, and they're going to be like, here's a No Man's Sky trailer, it comes out today. Or the Light No Fire trailer, it comes out today, here you go. And I think that that's what we're going to see. Whether that's this year or not, I have no idea, Will. I don't know. They are very, very closed off since their original mistake about what they're actually working on until it's out. So I don't know. I really think that game could come out anywhere between tomorrow to 2028. And we're not going to hear about it until it does. And then finally, Jason actually responds to Will and says, I love Dismantle. I tried to get Zach to do it for a Prelude to Divorce approximately a century ago. Unfortunately, Prelude to Divorce is not a show we do on this channel anymore. Yeah, he did. I can second that. I don't know. There's just something about Dismantle that doesn't speak to me. I don't know what to tell you guys. So that's it. That's all the fan traction. I've heard about it many times. It's been nominated by us. Oh, man, I missed 2 comments. Hold on. Oof. I scrolled down too far. Jason also says, I always manually save before quitting Grounded 1 or 2. Yes, that's the right decision. And then he also says, in State of Decay 2 or Grounded or whatever, where you can save anywhere or that has persistent autosave, I have to be at the base or outpost to quit. I'm glad I'm not the only person like that. Like, I have to be there. Like, it's like my character can't sleep unless they're there. It's a very weird thing. Even though it doesn't matter, I can be anywhere in the world and quit and come right back to that spot. I have to be at base. And if I'm not and I have to walk away, it drives me nuts until I can get back to the game and move them back to base.
It's funny because I actively thought about that when we recorded last.
Oh, the Baldur's Gate, the
Yeah.
BG3L3. Yeah. Yeah, that definitely happened. I was like, all right, let's go to camp. Well, we don't really need to go to camp. Well, let's go to camp. We're not gonna play this for a couple weeks. Let's go to fucking camp. I can't deal with this. All right, so guys, that is fan interaction. We are gonna have a fun discussion today. Like I said, we are doing our top 5. This is something I wanted to do for a while, and it's a game I think we'll play. If this goes well, we'll play it in the future. on maybe sessions in which we don't have news or don't have something to talk about. And basically, each one of us has picked a genre. That genre of game, we then both get to pick our top 5 games for that genre. I picked beat 'em ups, as you all knew I would. And Neil picked Sonic, as most of you probably knew he would.
I don't think Sonic is necessarily a genre more than a series.
I think it fits. I mean, it covers so many games. If you had said, I want to do the genre of the Elder Scrolls, I would have been like, no. Like, action-adventure role-playing games, okay, but no. But Sonic games, there's over 20 of them, so I think we're safe on that. But that's what we're going to do. And then there's no news today because, like I said, there's just not been that much news topics. So we're going to take a quick break, come back with Talking Point, our top 5. Pause.
You want to know how I know I'm a real adult?
How?
I bought a 1.5 pound bag of marshmallows from cereal, like the dehydrated marshmallows.
Yeah.
That I bought a 1.5 pound bag. I have a little snack bag that I've been carrying around with me. The whole bag is like
Love you.
this big. Like it's bigger than what I can put in this thing. I saw that on Amazon and I'm like, you can just do that?
That's hysterical.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that.
I'm an adult. I'm gonna make this choice.
Yeah. So now I just have breakfast cereal marshmallows that I just cart around with me.
That's amazing. It's the best part of the breakfast cereal anyway with marshmallows. So you're good.
Yeah.
You will get no judgment here, sir. No judgment from me. All right. So how do you want to do this? Do you want to like go back and forth? I think we should have one of us do the top 5, say all of their things, and then the other person can add to them if they have the same ones when they do their own. I don't think we should go back and forth. Or do you think we should go back and forth?
My suggestion was going to be one of us starts with our list, and whenever somebody goes through and says the thing that you have as well, then the other person jumps in and we just kind of mush about it for a minute.
Well, I mean, it's a top 5, though. They're not going to be in the same place for both of us.
I did not rank mine in order.
Oh, for Pete's sake, man. I said top 5.
Yeah, top 5. That
Top
means my
5.
top 5.
No! No!
Damn it.
You had a day to do the assignment. You're good, man. I don't give a shit. If you want to do it that way, that's fine. That's fine. Seriously, man, don't stress about it. This was a last minute decision.
I think mine actually might be in order anyways.
Okay.
With the exception of... I'll just flip those two when I go through to read them. I don't know why I was about to be like, I will delete this from my note and retype it. Like I don't have control over what order I read my shit in.
All right, let's do this then. Let's do back and forth, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back and forth, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That way, if we have the same one later, we can go, this is where I put that, you know what I mean? Or something like that.
Yeah, or... I think we should just jump in with the position that we put that thing on the list and go from there.
Okay. All right. Let's go. Going in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, it brings us to our top 5. Neil picked Sonic as the genre. Sonic games. I think that there's enough Sonic games to warrant that being its own genre. I picked beat 'em up games. So we're gonna do these, and how we're gonna do this is we're gonna go back and forth with our 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then if we have one in a different spot, we're just gonna call it out. Maybe talk about it a little bit at that point, and then remind you that that's where we put it when we get to that number. And then once we're done with the category, we'll both get an an honorable mention for each, basically. Like a sixth one that we're like, hey, this almost made my list. Should be mentioned here, sort of thing. So we'll start at 5. Do you want to do Sonic or beat 'em ups first?
Let's do the beat 'em ups first.
Let's do the beat 'em ups first. Okay, so beat 'em ups was my category. I have 5 here. This is a very tough list, and there's definitely going to be some controversy on it. Some real controversy on it. And one of the things is well, we'll get into it. So my number 5 is going to be, oh, this was so hard. My number 5 is going to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game. The original 2D Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles beat 'em up from Konami. On Nintendo, it was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game, and they added a bunch of levels or whatever. To me, the reason this has to be on this list is, first of all, this is my only TMNT game on my beat 'em up list, which will probably surprise some people out there because Shredder's Revenge didn't make the cut. Neither did Turtles in Time, which a lot of people would argue is way better than this. I tried to rank it not just in playability and awesomeness, but also like innovation, right? And I think that the contribution of TMNT 2 or TMNT the arcade game to the beat 'em up space just in general far outweighs the upgrades in technology and playability that Turtles in Time and even Shredder's Revenge made on it. I would argue Shredder's Revenge was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles version of Streets of Rage 4. It didn't even really innovate past that. It's a great game. I'm not knocking it. Turtles in Time definitely innovated on that class of beat 'em up, but I think that a lot of people didn't even know what beat 'em ups were, really, before that TMNT arcade game. I remember finding that in actual arcades and just popping quarters into that fucking thing to beat Rocksteady in the first level. I think that, like, that game is really high quality sprite work. It's really high quality games. It's also one of the first beat 'em ups where you really have to interact with the level around you. I think that it's just a great game. Innovation-wise for beat 'em ups, I think TMNT, the arcade game, has to be on there. And this one, I was really going back and forth with, but I feel like at least one Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game has to be on this list for me. So that's my number 5. You may add to that, rebut that, whatever, and then you can do your number 5.
So I would definitely agree with that. Now, I always found that game to be a little too difficult for my tastes.
Yes.
That was a quarter muncher for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely, like, I can agree with that. Like, TMNT is like one of the like hallmark series when it comes to side-scrolling beat 'em ups, for sure.
Yeah.
Kind of in the superhero vein, this one is kind of interesting because my number 5, I remember playing this game. I remember never beating the first level, but I remember so much about it, like the music and everything.
Okay.
X-Men for Sega Genesis.
God, that's a great one. That's
X-Men
barely a
for
beat 'em
Sega
up, though.
Genesis.
That's barely a beat 'em up because that's a platform. That's got a lot of platforming in it.
It is.
I'll let it count, though. I'll let it count.
Yeah. I actually, it's funny because, like, I came up with that one from, like, the pits of my mind because I was like, I feel like there was this game back in the day that I used to play, and it was an X-Men game, but I don't know what it was called. So I, like, quick Google search was just like X-Men Sega Genesis, and like, oh, apparently that's literally just what it was called, was X-Men Sega Genesis.
Yeah, it's a good game. Me and my brother played it a lot.
Yeah, I remember playing it, but that was like my first exposure to literally anything like that. It is very platformery to be for sure.
Yeah.
But they did have those, like, some beat 'em up segments in there.
I mean, there's a lot of fighting in it too. There's a lot of switching back and forth. I think that, like, just for everybody out there, he is not referring to the X-Men arcade game, which is a 2D brawler. He is talking about the Sega Genesis X-Men game, which is a platformer / brawler. Sorry, guys. It like I said, it's borderline. It's borderline, but there's definitely enough like beating, bashing that I would say it's fair. It's fair. Interesting for your top 5 though, with all the beat 'em ups out there. Personally,
Yeah, for sure.
All right, the next one I have is again, this is on there for innovation. Something I want to explain about beat 'em ups. Thanks to the beat 'em up renaissance right now, I think the best beat 'em ups are modern day beat 'em ups. I don't think the original beat 'em ups can hold a candle to them just because of what they can do with beat 'em ups nowadays and what they have done with beat 'em ups. And I know there's a lot of purists out there, a lot of retro gamers that would disagree with me. I understand where you're coming from. Don't get me wrong. I have those same nostalgic feelings, especially for the game that I'm about to list. But a lot of people would argue that this is the best beat 'em up ever, and it is number 4 on my list. The reason being, the games that come out now are just too good comparatively to what you could do with a Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo. So, however, this is getting the innovation. The reason it's on here is for what I said before, the innovation, and that's Streets of Rage 2. Streets of Rage 2 is when you think of a brawler, if you are of a certain age, when you think of a brawler or a beat 'em up, the first fucking thing that comes to your head is Streets of Rage 2. Not necessarily Streets of Rage 1, definitely not Streets of Rage 3, it's Streets of Rage 2. It's Streets of Rage 2 with the kid on the rollerblades. It's Streets of Rage 2 with the wrestler. It's Streets of Rage 2 with the original Axel and Blaze. Like, it's Streets of Rage 2. Like, Streets of Rage 2 was the definitive one. Like, it built on all the successes of Streets of Rage 1. It gave them all, like, weird fighteristic special moves, which the first one didn't have. It was kind of a cool addition to it. It expounded on the brawler and brought elements of fighters into it, which brawlers really needed at the time. It had great sprite work, great boss work, great fighting mechanics. It's just a classic game, and a classic beat 'em up. Like, beat 'em ups wouldn't exist without Streets of Rage 2, in my opinion. Like, I think that there are a few that you could put on this list that could say, like, these are the originators of the beat 'em ups, but I don't think any of them did as much for the brand as Streets of Rage 2 did. And that includes Double Dragon. That's right, folks. Double Dragon's not on my list anywhere. And I know I'm going to get some hate for that one, but I think if you compare Double Dragon to Streets of Rage 2 in popularity, in innovation, in what it brought to the genre, I think Streets of Rage 2 is far and away the winner.
Very, very interesting.
Dude, my next one is the most controversial, though, in fairness.
Very interesting. Yeah, Streets of Rage showed up on my list. Different one at a different place. Very interesting.
No 2?
So, huh?
No 2?
Not 2.
In
No,
fairness,
not 2.
you guys can check out Streets of Retro on our channel. Me and Neil had never played the Streets of Rage games, if I recall correctly, until we played them together on
So
Streets of Retro.
I had played the first one.
Right.
I had played the first one years ago, I remember, because if I remember correctly, I told the story about how I ruined the one time we got to the very end with a friend and I had played.
Yeah.
And the dude offers you like an apple or something. I'm like, hell yeah! And then it just like, because at that point, like, you're being bribed, and then like you're one of the guys, and then that's it. You get a game over. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, it's still so funny. Oh god, but no, I hadn't played the other ones though. Hadn't played the other ones.
Yeah. So Streets of Rage 2, definitely number 4 on my list for innovation. My next one is going to be the most controversial because technically the game is not out yet. So.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some rage on that one, I think.
So my fourth one is actually gonna be Castle Crashers.
That is a really good one. I thought a lot about that one.
I loved Castle Crashers.
Yeah.
It was the first side-scrolling game that I ever beat. Granted, I beat it with it was couch co-op, 4 of us in college that we ended up doing that because some parts of that game get really fucking hard.
Really hard.
Really hard. But yeah, Castle Crashers, if you're unfamiliar, that was actually like one of the very first indie games that I ever played too. Behemoth did that before they did like Battle Block Theater and all these other stuff.
Yeah.
It was the thing that really kind of got their name out there. It's just a dumb, goofy, medieval side-scrolling beat 'em up adventure with just the absolute stupidest
There
shit
is
in it, but it's
so
fantastic.
much replayability in that game too, because
Yes.
every character that you fight or see on the screen can be unlocked to play through the game with, which I thought was one of the most innovative things that game had ever done in the fighting brawlers. I'm like, oh my god, I could play anybody. I played that game so much. I played like archers and just barbarians and any one of the bad guys, just that I would unlock them. I was like, I've got to play them. So I would play through the game again. That is a great game. And the stuff they've done to it even now, which is like 10 years later, even more than that, they have added modding to the game. I've thought about picking it up multiple times on Steam because it has a whole modding community now that is doing stuff to it. It is truly a beacon for modern day brawler beat 'em ups. So it wasn't going to be one of my honorable mentions, but it is one that I will not fight with in any way, shape, or form. It should be on the list, without a doubt.
So tell me more about your controversial not out game.
Okay, so number 3, and the only reason this isn't number 1 is I cannot in good conscience put my number 1 as a game that has not been released. This game is not out. It comes out on October 9th. It is called Absalom. It is from the makers of Streets of Rage 4. Well, it's from the production team behind Dotemu, behind Streets of Rage 4. It is a brawler with a medieval theme that has a roguelite kind of element to it. I'm not usually into that, but the roguelite element in this gives you such like a cool way of moving through the world, and almost everything in the world is kind of like interactive. And like doing certain things in certain places gets you different areas to move through in each different area. So like the roguelite elements to it, like let me put it this way, like when you go through at one point, there is this bridge that's been destroyed by goblins. And then if you go down through the tribal area and you fight the goblins in a certain way, you can convince them to rebuild to back off and let the people build the bridge. And then the next time you go through, the bridge is built and you can go through. Like that kind of stuff, like the roguelite elements to it aren't just like abilities you can collect, which there are some. There's plenty, but there's also like different ways to move through the levels and the areas, which I think are just so cool. Plus, like it has a map to where the map has mapped out certain places that you'll always run into if you take that path. But then the in-between, there's always like a couple of procedurally generated areas. So like you can map, it's weird because you can map out a procedurally generated area. And I think it's just such an innovative, cool beat 'em up. Not to mention the fact that the fighting is top fucking notch. And the reason that this is on this list, guys, is I've played over 20 hours of it on the demo. So the demo for the game came out back in Steam Next Fest, and I haven't stopped playing it. Every time I run out of a game to play, I go back and play it again. If I have like 20 minutes to spare and the game that I'm playing takes that long to boot up or whatever, I will just boot it up and play through it again. Like that game has completely and totally captivated me to the point where I don't think there's a way that after level 1, they can keep this from being on my list. Like, just period. But again, it is a game that is not out yet. So, controversy be damned, especially since there are quite a few games that I thought about putting on this list. But in terms of just pure enjoyment and fun, right now, it can't not be on here.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that sounds very interesting. I know you've mentioned to me about it before. I'll be honest, I've been kind of lacking in checking it out. But
free demo is still available, and I will play it with you happily.
I'm going to say, it sounds very interesting.
It's very cool.
It's actually kind of a perfect segue
Sure.
into my next one. So my number 3 just happens to be Streets of Rage 4. Streets of Rage 4 was very. I think when I think of the side-scrolling beat 'em up renaissance that you're talking about, I immediately think of this game because I feel like this is one of the first few games that really kind of kicked that back into gear as like a viable option for a game genre. Because I feel like there was a point in time where side-scrolling beat 'em ups were just considered antiquated, and they needed to do something. It had everything like you were talking about. They called back to the old games, but the art animation is amazing. The soundtrack is amazing. It gives you those fighting game elements too, with command inputs and everything like that. It's kind of what I wish I wish happened sooner. I wish happened sooner to the genre.
So this is going to be really interesting and probably save us a little time because my number 2 is Streets of Rage 4.
Okay.
So it's kind of perfect there. Streets of Rage 4 you're exactly right. Like there have been a few beat 'em ups before Streets of Rage 4 in the modern area. I mean, Castle Crashers being one of them. But when you really think of the beat 'em ups coming back to the forefront of like competing with AAA games and AAA titles for, shares of the hype, so to speak, like Cosmic Invasion does now. It comes from Streets of Rage 4. Streets of Rage 4 was like, boom, there was an awesome animated trailer for it, and it's like, holy shit, Streets of Rage is coming back. And then for it to be as good as it is just absolutely nuts. And that is developed by Lizard Cube and produced by Dotemu. Lizard Cube recently did Shinobi. You guys can all check out my review for Shinobi Art of Vengeance. It's absolutely one of the best games. That developer, they are so good at taking subject matter, being like, what are the core points of this genre / game, bringing that out, and then just building a mansion on top of it. There's so many unlockables, so many things to do. That game is my comfort game. I used to, so much so that when I go to stream games, if I don't go to manage stream fast enough, it will automatically just start a Streets of Rage stream on YouTube because that's how many streams I would do. If I was in a bad place mentally, I'd just be like, I'm just going to do a 2-hour Streets of Rage stream and play through the game. Like, that game is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And don't even get me started on the fighting and the sprites and everything else. It's absolutely phenomenal game. Bar none should be on there. But that was my number 2. So you can give me your number 2 now.
Yeah. Here. Nope. Let me go ahead and unlock my phone here because it already locked me out. So, I kind of struggled with my number 2, and that actually wound up being the original Streets of Rage.
Interesting.
The original Streets of Rage, because my
so
number
we both
one
have 2 Streets of Rages on here.
Yeah, so it's interesting because my number 1 and my number 2 are kind of for the same reason but different. The reason I say the original Streets of Rage, it was the first time that I remember playing a game like that and actually enjoying it. Because there were some of the older ones, like the X-Men one that I remember talking about. Like, I mean, I was so young whenever I played that like I never got past the first level even. So there were points where I know I played the game, but I don't know as if I necessarily enjoyed it or enjoyed it like I should have enjoyed it.
Right.
But that was the first Streets of Rage. Was the one that was like, yeah, I think I actually enjoy this. And it was actually the very first game that I played through co-op with somebody as well. A childhood friend of mine.
Hard one to play co-op because you could steal lives from each other in that game. And that is a real quick friendship.
There was a lot of dickery that happened. A lot of dickery.
That's a good one, man. I'm not going to argue with any Streets of Rage added to this. I think it's funny that like your Streets of Rage was my Streets of Rage 2. You know, it's very strange that like both of those, like Streets of Rage 2, I played with my brother constantly. So like it's just one of those things that's very interesting. My number one. Okay, so for number one right now, it has to be the whole total package to me. Not just the combo system, but it also has to be replayability. It has to be innovation. It has to be sprites. It has to be writing. It has to be everything. I know that there's people out there that are going to disagree. They're going to want Streets of Rage 4 here. They're going to want Streets of Rage 2 here. I get it. Everybody's different. But River City Girls 2 for me. It 100% is. River City Girls is a beat-em-up that you can go anywhere. You can do it in any order. It has really funny, ridiculous writing. Really great combos. Character advancement. Grinding, like unlockable characters. Like that game is just so good. It's absolutely so good. I love the fact that like as you buy stuff too, you build your combos, which is even cooler. I love that game. I will never say that game is anything less than a 10 out of 10 for beat 'em ups. And I do want to say, everybody out there, some of you are probably like, where's Sifu on this? When I said beat 'em up, like if I had said just brawler, okay, Sifu's gonna be in there somewhere. But this is a beat 'em up. To me, a beat 'em up is a 2D beat 'em up. Period. You know, I'm not saying that this counts any of Neil's picks. I'm just saying that for me, it's got to be 2D side-scrolling beat 'em up all the way. River City Girls is the absolute epitome to me of what one of those kinds of games can be, and what it can be in the modern era with how much you can do in it, how many avenues there are to playing it. So yeah, I'm always going to love that game.
That's actually my honorable mention.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And I think the only reason it is an honorable mention for me and it didn't knock anything else out of this list that I have is because the only time I did play it was the time that I played with you. But I knew how good that game was.
Yeah.
Playing it. Like, it's definitely the fact that it has that like open world sort of thing that you can like go to areas and do things that just kind of sets it apart. That sets it apart in a special way. That there is just one of those. Actually, I keep meaning to check to make sure if it's not on sale on Steam, because that's one of those ones I've been
especially since they added the Double Dragon DLC with Aaron and Dan doing the voices of the Double Dragon from Game Grumps. It's fucking amazing. Like, it's a whole nother reason to play through it again. That game is just so good. So good. So good. My honorable mention is actually River City Ransom, surprisingly enough. And that was really hard to not put on this list, because as much as I played Streets of Rage 2 with my brother, I played River City Ransom probably more. And River City Ransom was the first game ever in a brawler that I remember we would fight through it and we're like, why can't we we're all the way at the end. Where is the boss? And it took us forever to figure out that you had to like listen to the things that the bad guys said to you to know where to go to fight the next boss. And that was the only way. So like the game itself was this weird kind of scenery puzzle that you had to figure out to get to bad guy. I don't know if you know that about the original River City Ransom, but in River City Ransom, you fight the first boss would be like, Rocco's gonna take you out. And he would tell you where Rocco is. Like, Rocco's gonna take you out in the West Guards, he's waiting for you. But if you went and fought a different boss before that, it reset the whole thing. The game didn't stop going. You just had to go back to the first guy, fight him again, and then go to the right person. So it's this weird situational puzzle, because if you didn't do that, when you got to the last guy, he just wasn't there. There was nobody there to fight. So the only way to get him to appear was to fight the bosses in the right order.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a really cool Nintendo game. Really cool Nintendo game. Yeah. I think in Japan it's called like something like Kunio-kun or something like that. But it's a really interesting, cool game.
Yeah.
So what's your number one, man?
So my number one, like I said, it's kind of my 1 and 2 were the same thing, but kind of for different reasons. The Golden Axe is my number one.
I knew it had to
Golden
be on here
Axe is
somewhere.
my number one. That was one of the very first games I ever played that taught me how different kinds of games worked. And that on its own, it holds a special place in my heart. Now, it's one of the traditional, OG Sega Genesis side scrollers.
Great game.
We ended up going through, I think we did the first two, or we did all three. I can't remember. One of the earliest things that we did, like in the first, like when we started doing Streets of Retro.
I don't know if we did. I think we tried and we couldn't get it to work.
I know we tried and we couldn't get it to work on something, but I feel like there was
something. I don't know.
Like there was something.
I have to look back. I
know we did something like that though, to where we tried to do something with it too. I think it was on a stream that we were trying to do it with.
We were trying to play Golden Axe on a stream and we could not get it to work no matter what we did. I remember that. Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of those. It's a very, very, very traditional OG side-scrolling beat-'em-up game that really kind of showed me at a young age the ropes on how other games effectively could be. I still, from time to time, do grab and boot that up really quickly and play it a little bit here and there. I was never particularly good at it. But I think it just means more to me overall.
Yeah. I understand that. There is a level there's a place for nostalgia in stuff like this, It's interesting. The time we played River City Girls was a Streets of Retro stream. We actually got 43 views on it, which is kind of crazy. We never played,
especially given the fact we ate pizza in the middle of it for like 5 minutes.
We never played Golden Axe on anything successfully. It was not anywhere. We had.
You know what? I'm thinking of something else. I know what I was thinking of now. I was playing through with another friend of mine in college, and we went through on the Genesis collection on 360. That's what I was thinking of.
We played Streets of Retro. We did Streets of Retro as Streets of Retro Season 2. And Season 2 was all the old Streets of Rage game. And then that was it. Yeah, Golden Axe is great. I'm going to say this right now. Sega, don't fuck it up. Whoever you gave it to make the next one, because that was supposedly one of those announcements that's coming out with a new one. Don't fuck it up, man. Give us a good Golden Axe game. Like an old school good Golden Axe game. Give us that. Seriously. So that's it for the beat 'em ups. That's our top 5. Everybody out there, what are your top 5 beat 'em ups? Go ahead and put them in the comments. We'll read them next week. It'll be fun. But we have one more genre to get through. And that's Sonic games. Sonic games. And I have 5 games. Again, some controversy on this list. Some serious controversy on this list.
Let's invite the controversy.
Okay. All right.
Because my number 5
bring it
is one that everybody's going to tell me I'm absolutely fucking crazy.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
Sonic 06. Here's why.
You're such an asshole.
I have talked about this before. I have absolutely
asshole.
talked about this before. This is one of my favorite Sonic games because it is so absurdly broken. It is hilarious to play this game. Just the unnecessary loading screens, the clipping through and falling through areas. I still cannot count how many times that I was just running along straight and then all of a sudden just hit like an invisible wall or just fell through the floor for like no goddamn reason. That game was phenomenal as a joke, obviously. Like you're not going to actually say like it's a real good game, but damn if it was not a good time for it just being so broken and hilarious.
I don't know. I understand why you put it on this list. I know how much you talk about Sonic 06. I cannot get behind you putting a broken ass game on this list.
I know.
I think this is a travesty of justice here, but it's your list, so that's all I'm going to say. My number 5 is actually a newer game, and this might be some controversy because I am not putting it on the list because of Sonic. and that is Sonic Cross Shadow Generations, the remake of the original Sonic Generations. I thought Sonic Generations... So, I had not played Sonic Generations. It was one of the Sonic games that I had missed. When this was announced, and it was announced with basically a whole second game to it, which is the Shadow part, I was like, oh, okay, great. This is a perfect time to get it. Asked for Christmas. Our wonderful Bill Master General Phil Billy bought it for me. And I played through both. I played through Sonic Generations first, then I switched to Shadow Generations. I actually found Sonic Generations a little lackluster, to be honest. Weird Birthday Party was the basic. I know this is one of people's favorite games, but like I felt like some of the level stuff was a little bit lackluster. Like it was really quick. Like it wasn't like it didn't take a long time. Then I got to Shadow Generations. Shadow Generations blew me away. I love Shadow Generations. It fills in so many gaps for Shadow. It also adds so many like reasons for plot holes that were definitely there before. It gives Shadow new life, in my opinion. The overworld is way better. It's actually larger. It takes way more time to get through it than Sonic Generations. Like, it is more of a game than Sonic Generations was. So it's specifically on the list for the Shadow Generations part. But I love this game. It's a great game. The only thing I'll complain about is sometimes every Sonic game is like this, but sometimes the controls are a little finicky, and all of a sudden I'm off a cliff, and I have no idea why. But I loved Sonic Cross Shadow Generations. That was my number 5.
That is definitely one that's been on my list to pick up. I did end up playing through. I got OG Sonic Generations when it came out. I will agree it was kind of lackluster. There were some parts of it that were higher effort than others. Like I remember running through the chemical plant zone in the 3D version to where it's like you could see that it was like the OG chemical plant zone, but in third dimension. So you could like actually see all the different pipes and stuff. But then there were just other parts where it's like, do the mandatory mini boss fight thing so you can get the emerald because we got to pad this thing. Yeah, definitely on my list. But I definitely it was such a good game. It was such a good game, and the Shadow stuff I really want to play too at some point. That's another one on my Steam list actually.
It's a great game, man. I highly recommend it. Honestly, I'd loan it to you if we ever get together because I actually believe I have a physical copy of it. It is a great game, So number 4 for you, sir.
Number 4 is a little bit of an outlier, but it is technically still a Sonic game. Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine.
Oh, you are all controversy today. We are 2-0 for controversy on Neil's list. Sonic 06, then a game that was never meant to be a Sonic game until it came over here.
Yeah.
It's what is it? Yeah. Puyo Puyo.
The last 3 of mine are not controversial. I'll tell you that for a fact.
Most of my list, 33% of my list is controversial.
Yeah. So, yeah, Mean Bean Machine, yes, is just Puyo Pop. For anyone who knows, it's a special place because it was one of the first puzzle games that I ever played.
Oh, okay.
First and foremost, one of the very first puzzle games I ever played, of course, outside of Tetris. I think Tetris, everybody's first puzzle game. But I don't know, like there was this part of me when I was playing this game that felt like, even though it was just a reskin of Puyo Pop, that it expanded the Sonic universe. Like that, you've got Robotnik and Grounder and all his other henchmen and everything like that, because this was in the day of the shows and everything like that. It kind of brought that external media into the world, I feel like. Right.
I mean, it got mentioned in the movie, right? So like it's not like it's not part of the canon in some way, shape, or form. It is unfortunate. Like basically, it was Puyo Pop. When Japan was gonna we'd like to release Puyo Pop in America, and America was like, no mascot, see, gotta put some on that, and they basically plastered Sonic all over it, and that allowed them to release the exact same game as Mean Bean Machine. But I see where you're coming from. I think that, like, again, it's a controversial pick. I am a lot less aggressively against it as I am Sonic 06.
Sonic 06.
But yeah, it's on there. All right, so I was afraid my Sonic Shadow Generations would be controversial. I know what your number one is. I don't even have to think about it. I know what your number one is.
Do you?
Yep.
Interesting.
I do.
All right.
I'm positive
All right.
I do.
All right.
Positive I do.
All right.
All right, so my number... So this is number 4, right? For me, number 4?
Yes.
Sonic Frontiers. Okay, so since the Sonic Adventures, nobody had said that Sonic 3D could be done. Then we got announced Sonic Frontiers. Well, we had a lot of failures. Then we got announced Sonic Frontiers. Sonic Frontiers was supposed to be the kind of reinvention of Sonic in the kind of new age with better graphics, kind of more of an open world. Some people were like, it's the Breath of Wild Sonic game, which it is not.
It is not.
It is definitely its own thing, and I think it is definitely on the level of like a Breath of the Wild, but it is not that kind of game. But Frontiers was supposed to be like a full open world Sonic game. And I thought they accomplished really good stuff there. It was something that kind of blew me away. I was really impressed with it. The story is incredibly good. The soundtrack will make you lose your fucking mind. It is so good. Like, if anybody who doesn't have tears in their eyes for the first fight when you're fighting because like every level ends in a kaiju fight when you're Supersonic. And they've got, like, the craziest butt rock going behind you. Like, anybody who doesn't have tears streaming down their face as they're DBZ punching somebody with Sonic, which has never happened with Sonic. Even when you got Supersonic in the original, that's what you wanted. You wanted, like, all right, I'm Supersonic, I'm going to destroy everything. But it just made you faster and kind of invincible, you know? But, like, and then, like, Sonic Adventure 2, you think you're going to get that, but it's more of a story thing. Like, it's cool, but it's more of a story thing. Sonic Frontiers lets you really, like, you're Supersonic, go fucking ham on this thing. And I thought that was so cool. I love this game from the standpoint of that. Is there some weird jankiness into it? Yes, but all Sonic games come with a level of weird jankiness. It is par for the course. And I think as far as it goes, it is nowhere near the level of the weird jankiness that came with any of the fucking insane Wii games. So, like, I think that, like, overall, I think Sonic Frontiers definitely belongs on here. I think it is arguably one of the best 3D Sonic games ever.
So in regard to the music, first off, it is actually Kellen Quinn from Sleeping with Sirens.
Yes.
Who did that. If you like Sleeping with Sirens, it is a more aggressive version of Sleeping with Sirens, which is absolutely insane to me. I saw no, it wasn't them. That was Pierce the Veil. Never mind. But yeah, the music is fantastic in that game. I love it. Was a good first try for the open world. I feel very confident that the second game, whenever they go through to do another one like this, which I feel like they're going
I don't know if I can ever be confident in Sonic Team.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's that. That is very fair, because Sonic Team has made some very interesting choices in the past. But yeah, that game, I have hope that the second time around when they go to do something like that, it's going to be more in line with what I was expecting. I still love the fact that was a horrible arena pitch that you had. It was like 2 years prior or something like that.
Yeah.
Back when we did that on the regular, it was a pitch that he had put up about an open world Sonic game where you could get abilities and level up.
Yep.
That's literally the game. That's awesome that
There's been a lot of those, I feel like.
There's been a lot of those, more than... I actually mentioned something to you. At the Game Awards, there was a fucking game where your currency is time. Like, your health and everything is time. And I remember that was a game that I pitched one time.
It happens all the time. Like I can't count the number of times we, like, pitch something, and then, like, 2 months later, it's like, hey, there's this thing. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
We definitely spoke into existence. All right, so on to the less controversials.
All right, number 3.
Number 3, Sonic Adventure 2.
Okay. All right.
Sonic Adventure 2. Sonic Adventure 2 was that first 3D Sonic that I ever played. I have very fond memories of playing through that game. I was so into that game at one point, I still somewhere have the CD for the soundtrack from the game. Wonderful, fantastic. Technically, I would say Sonic Adventure 2 Battle was the one that I really played more, but I mean, all that was the Verse Mode DLC. And that was about it on the GameCube.
You've kind of ruined it for me, because Sonic Adventure 2 is my number 1. It is my number 1 Sonic game with a bullet. Look, everybody out there, I know what you're going to say. What's up with the graphics? What's up with the weird facial expressions in the game? It was on Sega fucking Dreamcast. What do you expect for number 1? Number 2, don't you fucking act for a second like Live and Learn isn't the greatest part of your childhood ever. That fucking song, when that song came on in the movie, I got a hard on.
Yes.
I'll admit it. I'll fucking admit it. Full erection when that song came on in the movie. That game, and like, I might as well just say it now. My honorable mention is Sonic Adventure 1 because it didn't make the list because I had to pick between one of the Sonic Adventures because the other two just have to be on here. So I had to pick Sonic Adventure 2. Sonic Adventure 1, had the butt rock, had the starting of that and everything, but Sonic Adventure 2, first appearance of Shadow, you had that weird branching storyline that you had to go through twice, and then a third time to finish it off. They double Sonicked, Super Sonic to fight things. That fucking game. I don't care what anybody says. Gerald Robotnik trying to destroy the world because a fucking little girl died. Like, it was so crazy, too. Like, when you play that game, like, you talk about it being weirdly janky. There was so many moments in the game where I was playing and I was like, this is a game about a cartoon hedgehog, right? Like, right? Like, that's what this is about. And, like, we're dealing with, like a granddaughter being murdered by the government. Like, it's an insane game. And I think it's one of those games that, like, it should absolutely be praised for everything it tried and did throughout the course of what it was. It was absolutely fucking phenomenal. So I know you kind of busted my number 1, but that's the way it goes sometimes in the world. I know that what your number 1 is, and it's not on my list. So I think we're safe for me not busting your number 1, unless you really pulled a curveball. I think I know you. I think I know you. We've been doing this too long.
I think I know what you might think it is, but I'm very curious to see if you're correct.
So that's my number 1. I'll remind you guys when we get there that that's my number 1. But my number 3 is what we're on, right?
Yes.
All right. So my number 3 is huge, in my opinion. It is a game that defied all laws of technology. It defied people. It truly elevated video games at the level. And there have been a precious few amount of times when Sonic has truly done that, where they have been like, look at this thing that's absolutely amazing. And that's Sonic and Knuckles. So for anybody out there who doesn't know, this is the fourth installment of the Sonic series. There was Sonic 2, Sonic 3, and Sonic 3 was only half complete. It was kind of halfway through. Then Sonic and Knuckles came out. Sonic and Knuckles was this special cartridge that, yes, had the entirety of the end of the storyline that kind of got a to be continued from Sonic 3. However, here's the fun part. The special cartridge opened up and you could put another cartridge on it, like a weird Tower of Death spot. And you could add Sonic 3 to Sonic Knuckles and play through the entirety of the series as Knuckles, so you got a whole nother level of 2 games worth of storyline from that. In addition to that, in some weird kind of twist of fate, when they made Sonic 2, they just kind of randomly put the technology in there that this would be possible. So you can actually plug Sonic 2 into Sonic and Knuckles and play Knuckles in Sonic 2, which makes no fucking sense whatsoever, but you could do it. Nothing like this has ever happened again. Nothing like this had ever happened before. It has been untouched in video games as a phenomenon, a cartridge that stacks on top of other cartridges and unlocks things in cartridges. It's just not a thing that's done ever again. Sonic and Knuckles, me and my brother saved up for. We were obsessed with Sonic back then. And we had so much fun with those games linked together. It was just one of the best. It's just one of the best Sonic games that has ever come around. And that's my number 3.
It's actually my number 1.
No fucking way. No fucking way. Your number 2 is Sonic Mania? Because I know it's on that fucking list.
Yes, it's on that list. That's my number 2.
You surprised me, man. You surprised me. I can't believe Mania is not number 1 for you.
I guess we can kind of just sprint through the last of mine.
Well, I have one more that I haven't said, but yeah, we can.
To go back to yours, yeah. So Sonic 3, I actually considered Sonic 3 and Knuckles as just the one game for the reasons that you mentioned. It was intended to be the full complete package. Mm-hmm. It means so much to me because it has stayed with me for so long. I do a yearly playthrough at least of that game. Yeah, I still I can play through with my eyes closed at this point. But from the first time I ever beat it all the way onward, I will play through it constantly. That there is the perfect balance of nostalgia combined with like an actual good game that really kind of stands the test of time. Because we brought it up, Sonic Mania, I did struggle. To be fair, I did struggle to see if that was going to be my number 1 or not. Yeah, Sonic Mania, I'm
can't believe I got that wrong.
I'm slowly catching up to the number of times I've played through Sonic 3 and Knuckles with Sonic Mania. I've played through every single character, have a finished save file with every single character on the Xbox version. I have it on my PC and I have it on my phone. I'm currently working through a save file with every single character on my phone. Very hard with touch controls, by the way. But yes, the Sonic Mania was one of those to where it's returned Sonic back to the roots. And it kind of paid homage to the old games with the reimaginings of some of the levels, but they also just made whole brand new levels overall. In fact, I don't know if you saw a couple weeks ago, they actually kind of released some beta footage before Sonic Team, making stupid choices like they always do, decided to shit can the sequel for Sonic Mania and put out the Sonic Superstars instead. Yeah. That's because that was the move, guys.
Yeah, terrible move.
But yeah, those games are phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal, all of them.
I do like that, keeping with the theme of how janky Sonic can be as a character in video games, our lists have both gone completely janky all the way around. So I will now finish with my number 2. And my number 2 is Sonic 2. Look, guys, gals out there, this is objective, all right? This is not my favorite Sonic game. Not by a long shot, but there are no Sonic games if there isn't a Sonic 2. Sonic 1 is a fine game. I'm not saying it isn't, but it was a launch title for the Genesis. It was good. It showed what the Genesis could do, but it was nothing compared to Sonic 2. Sonic 2 was a fucking phenomenon. It had twice the levels. The levels were amazing. The music was another fucking level. Chemical Zone. Chemical Zone, man. You're not.
Chemical Zone.
You're not. If you ain't bopping to that, you don't have a pulse. First appearance in Metal Sonic, the Death Egg, the extra five levels, the Super Sonic, everything that Sonic is today, that everybody thinks this is what Sonic is, it all came from Sonic 2, not Sonic 1.
Yes.
Sonic 1 was just a relatively run-of-the-mill mascot platformer. I might get some hate from that, but that's what it was. It was faster than Mario. Nobody argues with that. But other than that, run-of-the-mill mascot platformer. Sonic 2, Tails, Super Sonic, Death Egg, Metal Sonic, the extra levels, the collecting of the Chaos Emeralds to become Super Sonic, all of that shit comes from level 2. From Sonic 2. The game itself was absolutely phenomenal. It's again not my favorite on any list. And I had to actually have some arguments with myself because Sonic Adventure 2, I think if you look at them just from quality of construction and what they did for the brand, the original Sonic 2 might have done more, might be a better game than Sonic Adventure 2, but my favorite one out to Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic 2 is, I mean, in a lot of ways, Sonic Adventure 2 is the quintessential Sonic game. If you want somebody to understand what Sonic is at a base hole, you tell them to play Sonic 2 first.
Yeah, Sonic 2 was definitely one of those games. I remember almost feeling like, oh wow, this is a totally different game compared to the first one. I will say the first Sonic game was not that good overall.
Not really.
It was a bog standard platformer, but we got the spin dash in Sonic 2.
Yeah,
we didn't get that in the first game.
I didn't even touch on that.
That's when the speed really kind of came into everything. The music is absolutely phenomenal. Like you said, Chemical Zone, the standard boss music. There was Oil Ocean. I always bopped along to Oil Ocean.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was wonderful. I do remember, though, oddly enough, it was one of the very last Sonic games I ever beat.
Really?
Yes, because if you don't go into that final act in the Death Egg Zone with at least one ring, you are screwed, my dude.
Yeah,
you are
fucked.
screwed.
Yeah.
Which is also weirdly something that they continued for a while in the Sonic game. They had it in 2. In 3, you wound up getting a ring. But then in Knuckles, if you didn't Sonic and Knuckles, if you didn't go through with rings into it, I remember that one too. You get no rings, so you're screwed there too. You got to be perfect.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. But yeah, so that's it for the list. What's your honorable mention for Sonic?
Sonic Colors.
Oh, that's fair.
Sonic Colors. I enjoyed Sonic Colors for what it was. It did that meld of 2D and 3D, and then they kind of introduced the power-ups more so into that.
Yeah.
I liked it was a very unique design overall, and I feel like it's one of the Sonic games that has the least amount of jank in it.
Yeah.
I actually thoroughly enjoyed that as a 3D Sonic game standalone that had nothing to do basically with anything.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, guys, did we get it right? Did we get it wrong? You can tell us in the comments. You can give us your 5 Sonic games, should you be a Sonic person. But we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with plugs as there is no news, and Daddy is tired. So be right back.
Horrible Gaming Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the show and the shameless self-promotion that comes with it. Neil, would you like to plug anything specific, sir?
Yeah, so I mean, we actually did end up getting a little bit more BG3 L3 done up. It is very much, I think, the favorite show that we've ever done.
It's definitely
honestly.
up there.
It's
definitely up there.
100% up there. It is just a bunch of goofing off and fucking around. And
I don't know how we're ever going to beat that.
Into many battles yet, which is absolutely insane.
And every battle we get into,
battles.
we get killed like a lot. I don't know how we're ever going to beat that game, honestly.
It's going to be great.
It's gonna be great. I'm gonna plug an old one, man. Go back and watch Streets of Retro. Me and Neil play through Streets of Rage and then the Streets of Rage classic games for the most part together. It is super fun to play. If I recall correctly, there was a lot of weird quotes that came from it, like butt hugs and all sorts of other weird stuff that we said and did.
Do baseball.
Do baseball! Oh my god, do baseball! I almost forgot about do baseball. Do baseball. We lost the original audio for do baseball, remember? And we had to replay through it. And somehow we did all the jokes again perftly because do baseball is just so funny. Do baseball.
I remember that.
Fucking love do baseball. So go check out our show, Streets of Retro. It was a lot of fun. It's 20 minutes from many years prior to now. But you just go onto my site, search Streets of Retro. There's playlists for both season 1 and season 2, and they're quick watches. I think they're only 6 episodes per season, so
something like that.
Yeah. I mean, other than that, you can check out everything we have to offer. I just did a Shinobi review. That game is on my Game of the Year watch right now. I think I'm doing a review for Super Video Golf, which should be fun. And then you can check out this show, all of our Let's Plays and actual plays. We've got some more Astral Drive coming out right now. Just check out something. We got a lot of stuff for everybody. Check it out. All right, other than that, you guys can reach us on Discord. Join our Discord, links in the description below. Influences and all of our shows from there. I don't really do social media that much anymore. Even Blue Sky is starting to irritate me, so I tend to stay off of it. You guys could definitely comment on this show, and I will read them out for better or worse. Other than that, you guys keep watching, you keep listening. We'll keep making them. We'll see you guys next time.